You're welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to SEO Questions. Each week we meet here to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. With us tonight we have Chase Rayner. Chase is an SEO based on the west coast of the USA. You can find Chase at reliablecomputerhelp.com. David Rozam is an SEO copywriter. He's been a copywriter for 30+ years, the last 12 as an SEO and SEO copywriter. And you can find David at writingforseo.org. Niraj Pandey is an SEO with 6 years experience. He's an SEO manager in Bangalore, India. And just joining us, Sanjay Paddy, I hope I'm pronouncing that, Sanjay Upadhyay. I apologize, Sanjay. I wish I could do better than that. Sanjay is from Noida, near New Delhi in India. He has 3 years experience as an SEO and SEM. Proud to call himself an SEO and also a conversion rate optimization specialist, Tim Capper is based in the frozen wastelands of the north of England. Tim is also a Google top contributor on the Google My Business community. Another top contributor is Masataki. Masataki is a top contributor on the AdSense and also the Google Plus Help community. Masataki is webmaster of wasaweb.net, wasaweb.net. All right, we only have a few questions tonight, which is maybe the internet's working now. Our first question is a question about the minimal number of words in an article to avoid thin content. I haven't got the wording for it. Can somebody, I've got a little bit of a break. Can somebody jump in and read the question for me? I'll put a link in the chat. Let me see.
So it says, what is your experience with the length of articles? I have the impression that Google again increased the minimum amount of words in the text. What is minimal number of words in article to avoid nomination of thin content? Did Google change algorithm in the last 15 days? No, Boris, I don't think Google changed the algorithm in the last 15 days. Honestly, if you're literally thinking in terms of what is the minimum amount of words that I have to have on a page on my site, then literally you're just thinking about this completely wrong. I mean, if you're going to put something on your site, and look, I don't know what kind of site you have. I don't know what the ultimate goal of it is. I don't know, you know, whatever it is. But if you are going to create a page on your site, and I don't know what it may be doing, but if you're literally thinking, what is the minimum amount of words I can get away with on this page, then you might as well not create that page. I mean, if I had to take a rough minimum guess, I would say something that's below 300 words is going to be considered crap. But then again, something that's got 2,000 words on could be considered complete crap. The point is the context of the page, the context of the site. You know, I have, on my site, I may have, I don't know, let's say 1,000 articles. And out of those, I would say maybe 50% would fall into your thin content, because whilst I do have very, very long, in-depth articles or pages, I may also sporadically in between just see an update or something like this and go, hey, here's a heads up. This looks like this. Has anyone seen this kind of thing? And it might only have 50 words on it, or it might only have 100 on it, because the whole point was the image and that. So if you're thinking that, oh, what is the minimum I've got? A page needs to have a purpose. But yes, if your entire site has, let's say, pages with 200 words on, and that is it, the entire site, depending on what the purpose of that site is how Google is going to be looking at you.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, no, I was just going to chime in whenever you're done.
Yeah, go ahead, mate. I was going to get angry and ramble.
I was just going to say, yeah, bouncing off what Tim was saying, because Tim has definitely a great point. It really depends on the purpose. And for me, like, I've had rankings that I've achieved with, position 1 rankings that, I literally have had no words on them, just like a video or some words on them, The Yoast plugin that comes with WordPress in the page analyzer or whatever it's called recommends at least 300 words. In terms of outranking blog articles, so say there's an article about 50 SEO tips for 2016, and then there's another article about 100 SEO tips for 2016. You'll actually see this is pretty common. You'll usually see the content with more, so the 100 tips, usually outranking the 50 because there's more content. Now that's different because it's for information. Depending on the purpose of your site, like for instance, if you're trying to sell a product, you don't want to have 100 tips on how to buy an umbrella because nobody cares. They just want to buy an umbrella, and at that point, the user experience will be really bad. So you still want to have content around that. You want it to make sense, but you don't want to be to the point where you're spamming. And also people who have splash pages on their homepage where it's like, enter now, and there's no text on their homepage. It's like, what are you doing? Your homepage is your most heavily weighted page in the search engine, and you're like just ruining it. So yeah, I would recommend, like what Tim was saying, if you have 200 words per page, it's not good. But if you have, 200 words maybe on a sales page where you're, it's 3 levels down in the conversion funnel, and people are ready to make conversions or buy a product, by then you don't really need as much content, and you probably won't be ranking those pages anyways, because they're going to be, products or whatever you're selling, services, opposed to maybe a level up when you're going to actually be getting people to land on those pages and then funnel them into those products. But it really does depend.
Okay.
Look at Jim's face.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, Jim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Niraj.
Yeah, Jim, actually, I have pinged you as well. His website is darkchocolatebrands.net, for which he was talking about that he has got a thin content penalty from Google. From my mobile, I don't know where to type. This is why I am not able to type in chat. But I am telling you all,
What was the
his website. Sorry.
What was the site?
Dark DARK chocolate brands.net. In case you have any difficulty or confusion, you can ask me. I will again repeat.
So what's wrong with this site?
He was telling that his website, he has got a manual action message in his Webmaster Tools account, in which Google has told him that due to thin content in his website, he has got the penalty. Actually, he did not want to post that URL over there.
Does he have a manual penalty that he's received?
Manual action, correct. Yeah, manual action for thin content.
Okay, firstly, you need to interpret what thin content is. A thin content manual action is not specifically because you don't have a lot of content on a page. It's thin, the actual manual penalty is thin content with little or no added value.
Yeah,
so this could be because of automatically generated content, scraped content, guest posts, doorway pages, or affiliate pages. So it's not just because of having little content. So, I mean,
yeah, all of his pages should have a purpose.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get another page. Sorry about this, guys. I'm having a little bit of a software issue. All right. Let's move on to number 2 on your run list. It's from Lubomir Tesik. It's on silo architecture and website ranking. Lubomir said, I have read lately a lot about website siloing. And so I started to implement this website architecture on one of my websites. What are your experiences with silo architecture and website ranking? Any suggestions and tips?
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I think it's good too, and I actually answered this on the forum because yes, it was you, wasn't it, Edwin, who disturbed my slumbers by calling me in on it. Yes. It's one of those things that you almost yes you have to do it. You know, why shouldn't you do it? It's what you're going to do. Put loads of content in a big jumble, or are you going to have stuff attached logically to areas of the site, to menu items, high menu items with related things underneath them? It's like having HTML almost to anyone who's put any content on the site. Yes, do it, because it will give you, if nothing else, or give your visitors, if nothing else, a much better user experience. Unless you're going to start unless they're going to start searching. If they want to understand the site by looking at it, by having a poke around your menus. That's it's just basics. Yes, do it, and don't even think about not doing it.
Like all of your pages should be that are important should be thought of as landing pages. So if somebody's going to be coming to your site for a keyword that you're going to be ranking one of those subpages off of, you want to make it seem like that's the first thing they see, so that oh, you're here for let's say pink fluffy elephants, but you want to know more about blue fluffy elephants, which we actually have a lot of information on, and then providing correct anchor text, of course, to that blue fluffy elephants article, which will then hopefully be linked to on other parts of the site as well, which will also hopefully show Google that that post is highly relevant to your site.
Well, let's go back a little bit. What a website siloing is you. Oh. Oh, okay.
Was that you?
Google effect.
Basically, you built your website around a theme, right? And within your website, you have specific sub-themes. And so you have to make your website about a theme, and then those sub-themes have to be clearly marked, and also within the navigation. That's stuff like that.
What?
Oh, gee. Is that the new Google Plus feature, or?
It's an old feature from Hangouts. It's been around for a while. It's just that we've got a few slowies amongst us. Just stick these things up,
And you just found them, Jim, or?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you. Who was that? The thing about siloing, my first thought was that could it be interpreted as page rank sculpting? Is that a possibility?
Wait, say it again. It's your intuition that it's page rank sculpting?
Yeah, could it be?
It's basically passing link juice to other parts of your site that you think are important, and making it seem like to Google that that main page that everything's linking to is about what it's being linked to.
Isn't that a function of navigation though?
It is, and it should be in navigation, but it's basically it's like interlinking all your pages, which you should already be doing. So I don't know why this is even a term, but it's something that somebody came up with, I guess.
You see, I think it's primarily about structure rather than interlinking. Siloing is sticking. Is normally sticking lots of related things into, or hopefully related things into one lump, isn't it? We
right.
Sorry?
No, I said right.
You said right.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. All I got was a sort of frog-like croak. Okay, sorry. We talk about silos of data in enterprise computing. So, I think it's much more to do with putting like things together. which is why I was saying, well, why the heck wouldn't you put things together in your website? And then from then on, you can kind of say, okay, we've got things kind of naturally linked. We can then go and say, okay, there's this thing that's mainly about pink fluffy elephants over here, and it's in the pink fluffy elephants section. But this pink fluffy elephant comes with a shiny green toad, and the shiny green toad that's the pink fluffy elephant's mate could also turn up in the shiny green toad section, silo or whatever. So you could link there. So the linking comes almost. Sorry, Masataki says that David has forgotten to take his medicine. Okay, it could be. I've got coffee. But yeah, the big things, the big characteristics you do via siloing, and the other things you do afterwards, I think. But otherwise, I'm just going to go and lay down.
Yeah, yeah. I think,
it's basically like strategic. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it is more about content strategy, right? Where you place the content, which content you place where within your own website.
Yeah.
But of course, interlinking is important too, and having the breadcrumb and a nice URL, all those things.
Have we stopped?
But well, in the comments I said I never implemented it because he asked if someone implemented it. It's not something you do after the fact, right? You do that before. So it's not that I have a website and I'm going to implement website siloing. That's not how I work.
Well, I mean, when you add new content, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing like interlinking in your website in the first place and kind of showing, what the main parts of your website are in the first place, I would say that something's wrong. So
yeah.
Make sure you take care of that, and then maybe go into a little bit more strategic level of siloing or something, and then really trying to get the message out there to Google that, okay, this is really one of the most important pages on my site, which is why I'm linking to it from all these different pages. And I really think that's kind of what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. If the website is so messed up, you probably need to start over.
Yeah.
If there is really no structure at all within the website, then.
Oh, hey, listen! I've just come back to the hangout because where's Norige gone? Because I've been looking at the dark pocket stuff for him. That's what he was asking. Where's he gone? Well, okay, right, mate. You're listening. Basically, just doing a run thing, only about 42% of the sites got unique content. So I would certainly be looking at that. I think the biggest issue you've got on that site is every single page has got multiple tags on. So it's in WordPress, so basically just go and no index, follow your tags straight away. And that will cut down majority of all your crap duplicating pages. Of course, double check your sitemap, because I think all those duplicating pages would also be in your sitemap. So once you've now indexed that, redo your sitemap. Once the site has been redone, then obviously be brutally honest with the rest of your site and your pages. A lot of those articles on there seem to me to just be, it's almost as if, look, I've checked a lot of them, they aren't like necessarily copied, but it's almost as if you've taken articles and you've just said to someone, just give me like the 500 words on this, give me 500 words on that, and it's almost as if they don't seem to be brilliant, you know. But anyway, that aside, I think your main thing is you've got several tags on every single one of your articles across the site. So no index follow your tags straight away. Re-look at your sitemap in Search Console, because if your tags are known, that's probably got that included in there. So resort that out, and then take a long hard look at the site again. That's my top tip. That should get you out of that. Once you've done that, you can submit a recon request, and if that was the main problem, then it should be sorted. Anyway, that's me over. I didn't realize you went anywhere. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me have a look.
Okay. Sorry, we're a little bit disrupted today. All right, let's move on to question 3. Here's a question from Mallikarjuna S, titled "Website Traffic Without Paid Campaigns." And Mallikarjuna said, "Hi everyone, how could I increase website traffic, and what are all of the things that we need to do for increasing website traffic without paid campaigns? Can you share with me your suggestions and tasks regarding what are the off-page tasks we need to do? Thanks."
So they're basically just wanting to improve their traffic through search engine marketing?
Sounds like more just overall marketing.
Yeah, SEO, social media. What else?
Yeah.
It's a really broad question.
Yeah, there's a lot of different areas to go into. Let me see. Is this? There we go. Sorry, David, had to mute you. You're getting feedback. Yeah, so you're looking at lots of different fields from the organic side. If you've established already a baseline of a brand, as you're building that up, you're going to be doing more PR outreach, social media outreach. If you've got influencers, you can kind of outreach to. That's going to help improve on the organic side without necessarily having to pay for things. Obviously, SEO is kind of an area for work. Each of these marketing channels, so to speak, have different ways of how to do better with, and how to optimize, and or in how to rank. And so it's a bit of a broad question, but I would recommend kind of doing a bit of research of what does digital marketing entail, or even just what does marketing entail, because there's even offline marketing where you're able to potentially drive people back online to the website. Not to mention kind of the shifts between, are we talking a regular website or either mobile website, mobile app? Those are whole other areas that can play a part. So the best that we can kind of, in my opinion, what I think would kind of say is take a look at what are the types of marketing channels out there today, and kind of figure out which one is going to be the best areas for your business.
Very good, Micah. Very good. Guys, if we were to say make up a 5-point checklist, building links, or at least earning links, would be number one, wouldn't it, for off-page?
Getting links? I mean, yeah, getting links for off-page stuff is going to be needed for sure.
All right. I'm sorry about our software tonight. We're working on it, and hopefully it'll be cured soon. Fortunately, we only have 4 questions to muck up tonight. This one is from Hina Shah. It's on backlinks from a subdomain. Hina said, I have a real estate website and I don't have regular content to add into a blog. So can I make a subdomain instead of having a blog with my keyword and add one-page content, build backlinks and rank? I'm not sure exactly what that means. I'm sure you guys know.
Well, no,
yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Don't know what she exactly means, but what you're saying is that you don't have content, so you want to create another page with thin content as a doorway. No, 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 no. You do have a regular source of content because every single page, every single area, every single kind of kitchen, every single kind of bedroom, what are buyers looking for this season, what's hot in the market, national house price trends, how will the interest rate increase mortgage lending this year. I've just given you 15 articles to go for. Yeah, no, creating a subdomain that will create one link to, I don't know if we're thinking of doing it site-wide, but no, it's not going to benefit you at all. If this is your business, this is, you need to think of, you need to think that there's plenty of content out there. That's probably, real estate is probably one of the easiest things to think about content for. What do your buyers ask you every day when you show them a property? Every single one of those questions can be an article. Yeah. Create content for your customers. What do your customers want? I don't think creating a single page from a subdomain is going to really do anything for you. Create, on your site, create some think about the content, think about what customers ask, think about the market trends, etc., and have a really good call to action on your page. So, just have a really good call to action. Build into it that if you're talking about specific property prices in the area, that you'll have at the bottom, you'll have little banners saying, you might, little boxes where, if it's talking about a particular area, it might say, check out these properties for sale in this area. If you're talking about how a kitchen can increase the saleability of a property by 20 grand. Have some images from outstanding kitchens on properties listed where you interlink to those properties. Think about the structure and the usability. So although you might be putting some content onto a page, which is obviously useful to a reader in that area who wants to buy a home, you're still interlinking to the relevant properties that are available to them.
Yeah. So I think summing up Dina Sharp, the answer is don't do it. Is that a fair comment? I'm going to record that as a list.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, I don't think it's a... Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it.
Okay, let's move on to the next. And I'm pleased to report that we've yet again answered all of the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. Well done. We only had 4 this week. That must be almost Christmas. Speaking of that, are we going to run next week?
On the Thursday. Christmas is what? On the Friday. Yeah, if there's any questions.
I won't be available to do this. I'm going to be doing Christmas Eve things.
No.
You know, this thing has been you know, we get these questions about how can I sell more, how can I increase my rank, how can I increase my traffic, etc., etc. You know, what I want people to realize is that there are now more indexed web pages by Google, and I think Google's last thing is that indexed 1 trillion pages or something like that. Now, there's probably another 1 trillion out there that they haven't indexed, but basically there are pretty much more pages out there than actual businesses. So the days of thinking that I'm going to just create an e-commerce site, I'm not going to put any effort into it, I'm not going to actually work that site. You know, it would be easier for you to sell your products if you actually just went and opened a shop on the high street. Okay?
Well, that's assuming you don't know SEO, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that in terms of competition, actually owning a business in your town is less competition than trying to do it online now. So, you know, people need to realize that you can't just think about creating a little, a site that I'm not going to do any work on, I'm not going to put any effort into, and I'm not going to market. It's not going to happen. Those days are long gone. There are more websites than businesses now. So your competition is like massive online.
But not all of them have SEO, though, Tim.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is that you can't expect someone to go, right, I want to create a website today and more traffic, more sales, and things like that. What I'm trying to say is you can't just do that without preparing to actually market it and do some work on it.
It's even worse when they come to you and they say, hey, I want to rank a website, get tons of traffic, and I don't want to do any content.
Well, the worst is when they say, like if they're a local business, let's say it's a plumber in whatever town, and let's say there's 100,000 people that live in the location, and then you search and you check out, sort of the potential traffic. Now, at some point, all of those people will need a plumber at some point, but they ain't all going to need them in a month, and they aren't all going to ever need the same plumber in a year. So when they go, shit, I'm only getting like 500 visits a month, and you check it out, you go, well, listen, mate, that's about the average that people are ever going to need. You might be position 1, but let's face it, that is pretty much about it. So the next step is to actually market offline, because sometimes you are limited in your online. If you think you're just going to make it all online, it's not. The psychology behind human beings is not necessarily going to be your total lead generation.
Especially in local, too.
Yeah, massively.
And having a store is also a trust factor, right? If you have a real address where people can visit you, they can go to your shop and basically return the product they bought, for example. Or if they don't want to buy online, they can go to your shop and buy it. So that's a huge benefits for small and medium business to have a local store. And
yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's like it's for somewhere along the line. These like this internet myth has grown over the years. Like, so like a local business will come to you and go, oh, and you look at them and you go, well, hey mate, you're ranking for everything, and they go, yeah, but I only get like 500 visits a month, and you're like, well, that's all you're going to get, because you might live in a town with, like I said, 100,000 people, but not every one of those 100,000 will go to look for a plumber online, because you might have had a plumber drop his card through the door. You might have seen the next door neighbor. You might go to the next door neighbor and say, oh, you had a plumber here. Have you got his number? You might go to your parents or your aunt or your uncle or your cousin or your friends and say, oh, you had that work done. Who did that for you? Because I really like it. So, there's certain factors where sometimes you need to, you might be ranking online, but you need to actually market offline. And it's the weirdness, because in the old days, everybody marketed offline. You did flyers, you did this, you did that. And now, for some reason, they've forgotten to do that. It's like, oh yeah, everything's online, and this is all my... No, it's not, because people don't always search like that. There are 100 other ways of getting more business. And it's not...
Yeah, and Google awards that, right? If people search, I don't know, for a particular toy and then the city name, and they will probably end up at the local toy store, right?
Yeah.
So, and that is how Google awards those shop owners, and it's really a great opportunity, and I wouldn't neglect it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, local is big. I mean, even if people have created like a very general online e-commerce store, if you can somehow try and get a local angle into that, I mean, it can really increase your sales. It can really increase your visibility massively. The days of
and even the big e-commerce sites do that here in the Netherlands. One example is Coolblue. That's one of the biggest online e-commerce sites in the Netherlands, especially for electronics. and they started online, and they now have shops. And they benefit greatly from that. They see a huge impact on local. They see that more people that are within their service area of the shop are buying at them. So yeah, there are definitely huge benefits for shop owners, or to have a shop or real address, right?
Yeah.
I never thought about local e-commerce. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with e-commerce, if people also actually looked at the stats in terms of it's all about a brand. When people are searching for if you look at a lot of the searches, so for example, let's take women's clothing. Women won't search dress or women's dress. I mean, that tends to just be bloody men. Women will search. Women will search like long dress, and then they will search by a brand name.
Or clothing stores.
Yeah, or clothing stores, but they will ultimately include a brand name into that, and they will tend to go through the brand names. Like, for example, they'll see a dress or something, and then they will search for that, but they will then not know which store is doing it, and then they'll type in the store. So, and a lot of these massive e-commerce sites, these well-known brands, almost 80% of their stuff of their traffic has a branded query in it. So it might just be the name of the brand, or it might be a search query with a branded name in it. Less than 20% actually comes from a generic search term. So it's like they don't even need to, I mean they do, but they don't even need to rank for the word like women's dresses. This is the thing. It's like when someone says, "Oh, I've just created this website and I want to sell dresses and I want to rank for women's dresses." It's like, no, mate. It's you just want to slap them because they don't understand the value of a brand and brand marketing anymore. They just think, "Oh, create a website and I want to rank." And like, okay, so what's your marketing plan? SEO and links. No. That's not how women search.
I have a story about marketing. A client of mine started a website about 15 years ago, and they had a bricks and mortar store, but the store was in the CBD, and eventually that property became very valuable, and they sold it and decided to go all online, and relocated to a large warehouse in an industrial area. They really work hard on customer service, and their reviews are brilliant. And the other day, they happened to be located in the same town as me. The other day I was driving and noticed, and subsequently found out that within a 2 kilometre, let me explain. While they're all online as a freight option, they recently added pickup from the new warehouse in the industrial area, so someone could buy it online, buy a product online, and then nominate, instead of having it delivered to their door, that they could pop into the warehouse and pick up their order. Anyway, I noticed that within a 2-kilometre radius of their store, every bus stop they have an ad that you can see, and each sign on every bus stop has directions on how far it is to go to like how to get to the store, and it's that attention to detail. It may well be an online store, but those marketing decisions to spend budget on putting ads in bus stops to make it easier for someone driving towards them, maybe for the first time, to pick up their order. It's that attention to detail that makes the difference between a site that is doing okay and a site that's doing brilliantly well. I mean, their turnover is 7 figures, and I don't mean they just got to the million. They're 2 and 3 million a year, and they got that by working really hard on customer service and doing all of these other things as part of their marketing mix. Anyway, that's my story. Who's got another? No one? Okay. Let's cover this news item. We only have one in our weekly news item. This was posted by Pawas Gupta in the SEO News community on Google+, and I thank Pawas for getting involved and making that post there. I hope he makes many more. But he said, yesterday Google's John Mueller presented his much-awaited SEO tips for 2016 through a Google Plus Hangout. Through the Google's Webmaster YouTube video, John gave his insight for 2016. He gave these tips. Mobile friendliness is essential. Keep an eye on AMP. Keep producing high quality content. And Google might start giving more preference to JavaScript. I don't know what that means. And what is AMP after all? Google launched the AMP technology about 2 months ago, and it is an open source content delivery platform. After being clicked from Google search, it can load web pages instantly. Until now, only a few lucky ones are using this technology, but by late February, we will all be able to utilize this technology. It has already been dubbed as the next year's hottest new website technology by Google's John Mueller, and it comes complete with the graphic of Barek Levansky, our good friend from Canada. I think Barek always looks better in a radio interview. All right. Any comments on Google's AMP technology? Anybody had a close look at it?
Well, yeah. First, it doesn't load instantly. What AMP does is it prefetches. For example, you do a Google search, and then the links are already prefetched in your phone. Right, those 10 blue links. If they are all on AMP, or if there is an AMP version of the page, Google will prefetch them and use their own Google cache to serve the web page. And that's what makes it fast. So while you're looking at the search result, the pages from that search result are already loaded on your phone. And that's what makes it fast. The second one that makes it fast is that not everything is allowed within AMP. Mainly JavaScript isn't really allowed. Just minor things are allowed. So that minimizes the load. Also, I think big images aren't allowed.
Wait, Edwin.
Inline CSS is only allowed. Yeah.
Does this mean that page speed isn't going to be a ranking factor anymore?
Well, that's an issue because Google says that page speed is a ranking factor, right? So if you're using AMP, that might be better than using all those caching headers, right?
Interesting.
And so that's then your page might be above a page that doesn't have AMP.
Wow.
But I wouldn't say like, okay, go on AMP because it is faster and thereby a ranking factor. I think if you already have a fast site, I don't think it matters that much, right? If you already optimize on your website, you're not serving huge images, then I don't think it is much of an issue. But I think Google did say that it might impact ranking because of the speed.
Do you know if, I was going to say, do you know if AMP is going to be like a plugin or how it's going to work, and do you know what it stands for?
What was it? Accelerated mobile pages or something like that? I need to look at the acronym up. Search. It was something like that. And I think it was accelerated mobile pages. The AMP project.
That's odd that it says mobile. I mean, it applies to both desktop and mobile, doesn't it?
The versions I saw from publishers, right, because it's already set out to the New York Times, I think. Was Guardian on it? I don't know. But they use it for their mobile site. So their AMP pages are on mobile.njtimes.com / I think it was the title name and then dash AMP at the end. Because it is a different version, right? So you still have to canalize to your main page, right?
Okay.
So
so it's going to be your website, like with this. It's not a subdomain. Would it be a subfolder of AMP or something, or what? I don't understand.
A different URL, right? It can be on the same URL because browsers can load it, but most publishers, how they implement it now is they have a link in the head section of the HTML linking to their AMP version, and then the AMP version has the canonical to the main URL.
But wouldn't you want the AMP version ranking in the SERPs?
I understand it is that Google then for mobile searches, right? It's because the AMP is only served for mobile at the moment, right? It's not for desktop. It's only for mobile searches. For the mobile searches, it will swap the main version for the AMP version.
How does it do that?
Because there's in the head of the HTML from the article, there's a link. I think it was rel HTML AMP, and then the href to the AMP version.
And it just switches once you hit the
Right. Do you know back when there was all those m.dot sites?
No.
Oh well, it's pretty similar, right? If you had the m.dot site, you would have in the heat of the HTML, you would have a link tag to the m.dot site, and the m.dot site would canonical back to the main site.
Right.
So that is how the publishers or the publisher that I looked at implemented AMP at the moment.
Gotcha.
But the problem is that it is also not open source. It is an open protocol, right? Google says, well, this is the protocol. If you use this, we can index that and we can serve that to our users. It's not an open source like they give you a bunch of software and you can do great things with it. It is an open protocol just like microformats or schema.org.
Right.
And at the moment, Google is the only one that I think it was Google, Twitter, and a number of publishers that mainly Google that says what you can do and what you can't do in AMP, and especially what you can do in AMP is issue for debate, because if you have your own ads, right, and they are in JavaScript, they will not be included in AMP. So there's a little bit of an issue, like Google says basically determines what JavaScript libraries you can use and what you can't use.
Very cool.
Did it make sense or not?
No, that makes sense.
Most certainly did.
Oh.
The only comment I'd make is that M.dot sites aren't dead.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, especially for publishers like the New York Times, they have M.dot sites because that makes sense for them, right? To have a dedicated content for mobile. So yeah, it is not dead, but.
Yeah, well, we built an M.dot site for a client about 3 months ago, and you guys can see the stats for it in the shared version of SEMrush that you can access from your profile. You'll see a link to the shared version, the one that I use, and I've got both the mobile site and the desktop site being tracked by SEMrush there. And if you have a look, you'll see that within 3 months, that mobile site has picked up 5 or 6 keywords at position 1 that the desktop site that wasn't winning. So yeah, I think it's very valuable, an M.dot site, if you've got the money to spend on it.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about an M.dot site is that you can have dedicated content, right? Especially with images, for example. On mobile, you can have smaller images than on desktop. Smaller images means less bytes, so you can serve it faster on an M.dot site. Basically, in general, you can optimize for mobile better on an M.dot site than with mobile responsive, for example. But it is more expensive, yes.
By the way, we should point out, because it's nearly Christmas, that SEMrush provide all of our panelists with a copy of their Guru subscription to the SEMrush tools, the set of tools, and I suppose if we want that to continue, we should give them a bit of a rap every now and then.
Yeah, we should, especially in the beginning.
All right. Well, we still have people watching us, but unfortunately we don't have any more news items, and we've already covered all the questions. Tonight's recording can be seen on dumbseoquestions.com or the SEO Questions YouTube channel. And we thank you for watching us. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We'll be back at the same time next week to do it all again. Actually, is that a certainty, Tim? You'll turn up, will you, next week? Because if you will, I will.
I will.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure.
So same time, same place next week. Thanks for watching us tonight.